Most people trust their password manager more than their bank. Here's the problem: your bank is regulated. Your password manager is owned by whoever last wrote a check. After 1Password's private equity acquisition, 3 self-hostable alternatives that let you run the vault yourself, plus the specific features you'll give up and whether they actually matter for your setup.
Let's be precise about the concern. The acquisition doesn't mean 1Password's security changed, it hasn't. The issue is trust horizon. You're making a 10-year decision about who holds the keys to every credential you own. When ownership changes, that calculation changes with it, even if nothing breaks today.
3 options in the data, each solving the trust question a different way. Vaultwarden at 63,000 GitHub stars, the community's clear favorite. KeePassXC at 27,000, completely local first, no server anywhere. And the official Bitwarden server at 19,000, which stays closest to 1Password's model but on your own infrastructure.
Start with Vaultwarden, because 63,000 stars on an alternative server implementation is remarkable. For context, that's more GitHub stars than most official enterprise infrastructure projects. It started as a Rust reimplementation of the Bitwarden server, and it's now the default answer whenever someone asks about self-hosting a password manager.
The key insight about Vaultwarden: it uses the official Bitwarden clients. The same browser extensions, the same iOS and Android apps you'd get with a paid Bitwarden subscription, your data just goes to your server instead. AGPL 3.0 licensed, genuinely open source, and light enough to run on a Raspberry Pi with 256 megabytes of RAM.
The migration path from 1Password is also cleaner than people expect. Bitwarden's importer accepts the 1PUX format, 1Password's own export, so most credentials, TTP secrets, and secure notes come across without manual cleanup. That's an unusually painless migration for an infrastructure move of this size.
KeePassXC is a completely different philosophy: no server at all. Your vault is an encrypted file you put wherever you want: local disk, Nextcloud, SyncThing, a USB drive. The license data shows no assertion in the SPDX field, which means the repo doesn't publish a machine-readable license identifier. Check the actual license file before any commercial use. For personal self-hosting, this model has the smallest possible attack surface: there's nothing exposed to the network unless you expose it.
The trade-off with the file model is that sync across devices is your problem. KeePassXC has no built-in cloud sync. Phone, laptop, desktop, that coordination requires a separate tool. For some people that's a feature. For anyone who wants something that just works across devices out of the box, it's a real barrier.
The third option is the official Bitwarden server, the same code-base Bitwarden the company runs, open for self-hosting. Same vault format, same clients, same API. The license is also no assertion, so check the license file for commercial deployments. The main practical difference from Vaultwarden: the official server recommends 2 GB of RAM minimum versus Vaultwarden's 256 MB. Same functionality, meaningfully larger hosting footprint.
Here's the adoption picture, and it tells an interesting story. Vaultwarden has over 3 times the GitHub stars of the official Bitwarden server, 63,000 versus 19,000. When the community builds this much trust in an unofficial reimplementation, it usually means the unofficial version is solving a real problem that the official one doesn't.
That problem is resource efficiency. Vaultwarden's Rust implementation runs on hardware that the official Java-based server simply won't. For home lab users, Raspberry Pi hosters, and anyone paying per GB for their VPS, the difference between 256 megabytes and 2 gigabytes is the whole decision.
Now the part that actually matters for whether you should switch. If your company uses 1Password Teams or business with SSO and SCM provisioning from Okta or Azure AD, you are not replacing a password manager, you're replacing an identity integration. Vaultwarden does not do SCM provisioning. The official Bitwarden server has enterprise SSO via SML, but it is not a drop-in replacement for 1Password's enterprise identity layer.
Travel mode is worth naming specifically because it's niche but non-negotiable for people who need it. 1Password can hide specific vaults from a device and restore them remotely, designed for border crossing scenarios where you might be compelled to unlock your device. Vaultwarden has no equivalent. If that's in your threat model, Factor it in before migrating.
Migration playbook if you're moving. Export from 1Password as a 1PUX file. Settings, export, select all vaults, 1PUX format. Deploy Vaultwarden with Docker behind a reverse proxy. Caddy works well with automatic HTTPS. Mobile apps require HTTPS, no exceptions, no workarounds. Then import the 1PUX into your Bitwarden client pointed at your Vaultwarden URL.
That 2-week parallel run is not optional. The Vault data migration is the easy part. What bites people is what was never in 1Password to begin with: credentials saved directly in browser autofill, recovery codes stored in a Notes app, family plan members who haven't switched and are now locked out of shared items.
So the decision tree. Vaultwarden for anyone who wants a Bitwarden-compatible server on minimal hardware, 63,000 stars, HPL 3.0, the community's consensus choice. KeePassXC for anyone who doesn't want any server at all and is comfortable wiring up their own sink. Official Bitwarden server if you need the exact official codebase or plan to run enterprise SSO. The full comparison with live star counts and migration notes is linked in the description.